Hello, and welcome to the last regular FSX video that I'll be doing. Today we're going to look at two things, flying online and virtual airlines. So let's start with flying online first. So I'm sure that you've seen the multiplayer feature in the game, however most people you'll find on there are usually inexperienced, shall we say. Most of the time you'll see them fighting for space on the runway and doing low and fast flybys past each other and all. But there is a better way. There are two free online services which flight simmers use to mimic real-world flights. These are IVAO and VATSIM. So these are online organizations which allow flight simmers to join together to replicate real-world flying and communication within a flight simulator. So why is this better than just plain old FSX? Well, when flying on one of these services, you can speak to real people who are acting as air traffic controllers, and all the other planes that you'll see will be real people flying. The other benefit is that only committed flight simmers tend to invest time into flying on these services, so all of the pilots will respect one another. You won't have any Top Gun wannabes buzzing the tower at London Heathrow, for example. Most, if not all of the pilots who fly will be using real-world practices and procedures. So here's a quick peek of VATSIM in action.
So it's turning on vacating 121.7 and just make a left turn on Alpha.
121.7, left turn on Alpha, listen.
Heathrow ground, speedbird 478 verse 747 on stand 554. I have information from Bravo and QNH 1015 request clearance to Malta.
Speedbird 478, Heathrow ground, located to Malta, meters 3 Juliet, departure, squawk 5212.
On the ground, good afternoon, Swiss 289, turning left on Alpha.
Speedbird 478, clear to Malta via the Midhurst 3 Juliet, departure squawk 5212.
Speedbird 478, correct.
So that was me sitting at London Heathrow just listening to ATC chatter, and in that example you had a Swiss airplane which had just landed and a British Airways flight requesting IFR clearance. So that looks pretty cool, but there are a couple of drawbacks. Firstly, with flight simulation being quite a niche hobby, these services can be relatively quiet, as in there's not many people using them. People will tend to congregate around major airports, and even then, you may only see or hear from 5 to 10 planes per hour. The same goes for players who are acting as ATC. They will tend to control major airports only. For example, I did a VFR flight on VATSIM for 3 hours up and around the north of Scotland, and the only other plane that came near me was someone going from Europe over towards North America, and there was no ATC coverage available. Now, that may be different depending on where you are in the world. I've only been using it for very limited time, so that's just my experience and my observations of how it works. The other negative is that it may seem intimidating at first if you're not familiar with real-world procedures and what order things happen in. It's not a major problem because you can park up at an airport and simply listen in, like I did, to see how it all works. These services also have trainers who will take you through a structured learning process, and they will help you get up to speed with flying online. So another common thing that you'll see when flying online is people flying real-world routes and mimicking real airlines. Earlier we had that Swiss Air and BA flight, and on this map of VATSIM flights you can see that we have a United Airlines and also a Ryanair flight. So virtual airlines, like online services, have been set up to add another layer of realism to flight simulation. Their purpose is to simulate the operation of a real airline by setting up scheduled flights for their members. They may also have a rank system which gives a sense of progression. For example, new members may be required to put in a certain number of flight hours to quote-unquote get promoted to allow them to fly bigger planes on longer routes. One other benefit of virtual airlines is that you can complete the flights on or offline. You don't have to fly on IVAO or VATSIM. Now, while I've given some examples of flights which are related to real-world airlines, you can find some virtual airlines which are completely fictional, and these may offer more flexibility in terms of where you can fly and what planes you can use. There's also way too many virtual airlines to list in this video, but if you do a search for virtual airlines on Google, then you'll be able to find some of the more popular ones in your area, and you can visit their website and see how they work. So if you combine this with online flying, it really gives you the opportunity to take your flight simming to a completely different level. And when you combine these with everything else that I might have mentioned in previous videos, such as high quality add-ons and just general aviation knowledge, then you've pretty much reached the top level of flight simulation where you can accurately recreate the role of being a pilot on your computer. So with that, I regret to say that I'll be stopping the weekly upload of FSX videos. I will continue to make flight sim videos, but I don't feel that I'll be able to learn a new concept and make a video on it within a week now. I'm hoping to turn my attention to more detailed aircraft so I can start to learn about proper checklists and procedures, flows which help you move your attention around a complex cockpit, and also how a flight management computer or an FMC works. I will, however, be starting a new regular tutorial series on a different genre of game, so stay tuned for an announcement on when that will be coming out. It's probably going to be in January sometime. Anyway, before I finish, I just want to thank you all sincerely for watching, especially those of you who have watched my videos from early on in the series. Without you guys watching and leaving me nice comments, I'm pretty sure that I would have given up long before now, so thank you very, very much for your support. It does mean the absolute world to me. So this is it. I'm going to do the classic film ending now and fly off into the sunset. Thanks again, take care, and I will see you in the new year.